Are you coming back to school with me? We could have done it all so easily.
Hi, my name is Craig Thompson-Wood. I'm your host on Teaching with Board Games, here today to take a look at Outnumbered by Genius Games. Now, I guess if I'm being very technical here, the box says it's not just Genius Games, but Genius Games Junior. So I guess they're having a division now where they're looking at games for some younger kids. And for those of you who don't know, Outnumbered is Genius Games' adaptation of the City of Zombies game by Think Noodle. Genius Games got the rights to the game and did it in their own way. So instead of with the zombies, they have superheroes with villains. And they've made a few rules changes to it. I am not going to be doing a comparison between City of Zombies and Outnumbered today. This is something I will be doing in the near future. Today I am looking out at Outnumbered on its own as a standalone game. What do I think of this? So let me take you to the report card and I'll tell you what I think. So in looking at the number of players for Outnumbered, I'm going to give it an A-. I give it the A- because it plays up to 6 players, which is a nice number. It has a solo mode, which is always sort of, to me, a nice thing to have include in the games. That way, if you don't have other people to play with, or just want to do the practice on your own, then this is an opportunity to do that. I think that that's why I give it the A-, because it's just it has a lot of flexibility in terms of the numbers of players that it has, and that to me is something I love in a game. For learning for the game, I'm going to give it an A+. This game is fantastic in the way that it uses dice and numbers. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of like your traditional flashcards, because to me it's just, that it's just like a repetition. It's like, what is this fact? You need to know this fact and this fact only. But with this game, what you're doing is you're rolling 3 dice and you are using those dice in any way you can conceive. Add, subtract, multiply, divide. You can square the numbers. You can add 2 numbers together and then square them. There's just so many different things you could be doing to get the numbers you need to match the villain cards, and it'll make more sense when I show you how the game's played. But it's not, the idea here is it's not like I said, one fact that you need to know. It's a whole manipulation and playing with the numbers, and just it develops a fluency, and as you just testing and playing and trying different things in your mind, and it's a wonderful way for the students to be learning, because it has that opportunity to just get them to play with numbers rather than just memorizing facts. So absolutely 100% yes, A+. For fun, I'm going to give the game an A. I think this game is a really fun one. It's there's a lot of tension involved as you're trying to work together, and then I love the fact that it's cooperative. That to me is a big plus, especially with kids, because I know sometimes there can be the whole sore loser thing, but in this case, when kids are working together, it makes it even better. So it's a cooperative game, and the kids are working together to defeat the villains as the villains are trying to steal something called the Infinity Van. And so you are rolling the dice, matching the numbers, but the other people on your team can help you as well. They can help you maybe solve looking at your numbers that you have and maybe make suggestions to you. They also have cards they can be using to aid you during your turn, and you can do it for the same for them. There is, and it's just in a cooperative game, there really needs to be a level of difficulty to it, to the fear of like the game could beat you. And there's different modes to play in the game, which I like as well. So, but the game, I played it on the hero level myself, and I found that it was challenging. I actually lost on the last turn. There's as I say, other difficulty levels, so it's good too for fun for other kids that you can. So you have the hero mode, the sidekick mode, and they even have modifications you can make to play with kids who are like, they say 4+. Now my granddaughter's 4, and I don't think she's quite ready for a game like this. I mean, mostly because she doesn't like to follow rules, and I'm not sure about her math facts just yet. But I mean, we could probably work some stuff out with that. But if you have kids who are very young, they say the recommended age on here is 8+. But if you have kids who are younger than that, they do have rules to modify to make it accessible for them as well. To me, that sort of adds into the fun too. So yeah, give it the A. For time, I'm going to give the game an A. The game says it plays between 20 to 30 minutes, and I think that's probably accurate. There's an interesting mechanic in the game that really helps it move along very quickly, helping keep this idea, this feeling of the tension and the pressure that the heroes are under to try to stop the villains from breaking through their defenses and stealing the Infinity Van. And it's an interesting, it really does keep the pressure on, and keeps the game flowing very quickly. So even with one player or 6 players, which as they say is the maximum, it's going to still be approximately the same length of game, because the way that the mechanic is that the villains are taking their turn after every player has their turn. So if there's 3 players, then the villain, after each player plays, the villain's moving, so they're going to move 3 times. Whereas if I'm playing by myself, it'll move after every time I go. So it's going to be the same idea each time. So yeah, I think the game, it flows very quickly, and so to do this in a classroom setting, you can definitely play this within if you're playing it during a period. Like in my school, they're 40 minutes long. The setup and cleanup are not too bad. I mean, depending on how many cards you're playing with, in terms of like if you the event decks, the hero decks, the villain decks you obviously need, and the bonus. So there's, depending again on the difficulty levels that you're having, you may be using more cards, but it's not that bad of a setup. So overall, I think that I like the fact that it does play so quickly, and yeah, so I'll give it the A. For cost, I'm going to give this game an A+. I am absolutely amazed. When I picked up this game at levelup.ca, they had it was only $22. I mean, for a board game, and this is a board game with some really quality components in it. Actually, I have the board on the side here, so the board's nicely printed and everything. I thought this was like a really neat touch. Instead of just having a basic background, they actually have isn't that cute? They have the box cover printed on the back there, which kind of makes for a nice poster. It's almost a shame to be leaving on the back like that. But yeah, and they got dice, cards, nice little van, which is a wooden token. And I was expecting to pay more than this for the game, but yeah, so I think that's an excellent price, and so I would really think that for the value that you're going to be getting, particularly if you use this game in the classroom, like I've been using like City of Zombies, like not making the comparison, but just saying that this is the kind of game that you could be playing on a regular basis, and I would encourage this game being played on a regular basis, because that's where you're going to see the math facts developing. And so with that in mind, if you are using it for that purpose, you are definitely getting your money's worth out of this game. I mean, for $22, and you're going to get so much play out of it, I think it's a fantastic deal. All right, let me take this game to the table, and I will show you how it's played. Okay, so what I'm going to be showing you here is the hero mode, which is the higher level of difficulty, and a sidekick mode, which they say is the standard normal level of difficulty. There's a few modifications you would be doing, but I want to show you all the components that are in the game. So in order to do that, I need to show you in hero mode. So in hero mode, you're going to be using these villains with the purple background. If just doing the sidekick mode, you would be taking those ones out, and you would also not be using these event cards. So what's going to happen is each player playing takes a hero card. So I'm going to take these two. So I got egalitarian. Set one of your dice to equal another. I'm just going to put him down here, and then I'll be using digitizer. Flip a die to its opposite side. So even if I'm playing solo mode here, and this is what I did when I played my own games to try it out, I was using 2 heroes at a time. It just, to me, and I'm playing both of them, and then in the hero mode 2, you're also going to be taking one of these bonus powers for the things. So here, so egalitarian can set one of my dice to equal the other, and digitizer is going to flip a die to the opposite side. These powers you can only do on your own hero's turn, and you can only do them once in the turn. And these are bonus powers. These bonus powers are things that you can do at any time, but once you've used them, they're gone. Okay, so the first hero is going to go. So let's say we're starting off with egalitarian here. And he has to roll the 3 dice and match the numbers to the things here. So we have a 20, 11, 13, 10, and 14. So I roll the dice. I've got a 5, 3, and a 2. So looking at that, I could say like 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. That looks pretty good to me. So he's going to take out number 13. Boom. So that villain is defeated and removed from the board. Now, that was Egalitarian's turn. So after every hero takes a turn, you move this down. When it comes to these spaces with the red POW mark there, everything moves down. And you put in 5 new villains. Now, maybe that wasn't the best choice to take out that one, because now if Digitizer could have got it, when you knock out a villain on these yellow spaces, then you get an extra bonus power. But now Egalitarian hasn't used his. Now, after each thing too, each villain turn, you're also going to take an event card. So it says here, so you advance all the villains, you deal 5 new villain cards, and you draw an event deck, and this is only in hero mode. In sidekick mode, you wouldn't use these event cards because they do make the game a lot tougher. So advance all villains with odd numbers in the top row. Okay, so I'm going to put that one there. So 2 is not, 9 is odd. So what he's going to do, he's going to push this one down. And 30 is not odd, 36 even, so 14 will get pushed down. Now, one benefit this has had is now maybe Digitizer can get this number 11 here to take this out. Now, if I use this, and now I can't with this one, but I mean, if I use this to take out this, if you use a bonus power to take out one, you don't get the bonus power card underneath. So that's something to keep in mind. You have to use dice to get those ones. So Digitizer goes, and it's a 3-2-2. Okay, so now Digitizer can flip the dice to the opposite side. So a thing to remember with dice is that they always add up to 7 on both sides. So the opposite of the 2 is the 5, and the opposite of the 3 is the 4. So what she might do is she might do 3 squared is 9, plus 2 is 11. So she's got that one. And then 2 flip, well, I can put the 2 here on that one. Yeah, maybe she'll do that. So she can put the 2 up there. So she's getting 2 villains with this turn. She takes that one, and they're gone. And now she beat the villain there, so she gets a bonus power. She can use this immediately or save it, defeat a villain with an odd number. Well, maybe Egalitarian will see if he can get this one down here. Divisible by 5. Okay, we're going to hold on to those for now, because why not? And then her turn's done, so it goes there. Now you see this time the Infinity Van is gone onto a space that does not have a POW. So the villains do not move. The villains do not take a turn. They only take their turns where they have the POW. But as you get down, they happen, and then you have 2 in a row here, and it gets pretty bad. Now, if the villains are coming down, if they hit the barricade is removed, the villain is removed, but now the barricade is open. So if another villain ever makes it to that space where there is no more barricade, that's how the heroes are going to lose. So they always have to be working together to make sure that they are, knocking out the ones who are getting closer and making sure you don't leave long lines, because if the even moves, it can just sort of this chain reaction of pushing things down, which can be really bad. Watching out for those event decks, because I mean, you never know what's going to happen there. Usually you're moving odd or even numbers villains down, or you can be adding them to the red zone spaces, or, well, I think there's one card that says nothing happens. And eventually you're going to get this guy. He's the big bad, absolute 0, and may not be targeted with bonus powers. So these bonus powers you cannot target absolute 0 with. So you have to make sure that you're beating absolute 0 with dice. So thinking about how would you get 47 on those dice, and working to that. So that is, in a very sort of quick glance, how you play Outnumbered. If people would like, I can definitely do a playthrough of the game and show you a full game of this being played, and maybe do that in conjunction with the comparison I'll be doing with City of Zombies. But it's very streamlined, it's very quick, very easy to learn, and it's just a case of learning how to manipulate these dice to get the results that you want in order to match the numbers on the villains. And that's the game. And so that is it for Outnumbered. I think Genius Games, they're a company that I have a lot of respect for in terms of the kinds of games that they're putting out, Really fantastic games, and like I said, they recognized a winner with City of Zombies, and that's why they contacted Matthew Tidbury, who designed that, and they even give him the credit here. They say it's a game by Matthew Tidbury, but they have taken that and put their own spin on it, and done some different things with it, and made it their own. And I think that they've done a really good job here. I think this is a great game, and I think it's nice that this is going to be accessible in North America now, because City of Zombies never had a North American distributor. So this is something that if you were watching this and you're in North America, that you can now be able to access this game. And I said, with City of Zombies, I have used that one in my classroom a lot, and so this is now one that teachers can also be accessing and using in their classes, because I think this one is absolutely fantastic. You can be doing this in centers, in a classroom, kids playing as a group, as one center in a math thing, or as I've used it when the kids were coming in during the day, pre-COVID times, but they would be meeting with me. I'd have preset math groups, and I would let them know which group was meeting with me. And for those first 20 minutes of the day, during when announcements were happening and national anthem, things like that, we would have this set up, and we would just take those first 20 minutes to just play through a game and be able to just have these kids practicing, and they would be in groupings of similar math ability, and that way they could be supporting and helping one another without one kid just dominating all the others, that student was superior in their math skills to the other students. However you choose to use this, though, in the classroom, or whether you get this game for supporting mathematics at home, I think that this game is a fantastic one and should really be one that you'd be considering. So if you're new to the channel, then what I'm doing is I'm putting out content on a weekly basis around topics of gamification, game-based learning. I'm reviewing games like Outnumbered and showing you how it can be used in the classroom, talk about the educational benefits of it. And not only in the classroom, like I said, if you're a parent at home or a grandparent or whomever that you want to be supporting learning outside of the traditional classroom setting, then this is what I'm doing on this channel. I'm trying to provide learning resources for teachers in ways that are fun, and try to motivate learning in education in a fun way, because this is the way I wish I was taught when I was younger. And I make it a big part of my own classroom teaching. I've been with the Peel District School Board for over 20 years, and this is something I've incorporated as much as I can, and I've been learning about through my time as a teacher. If this sounds good to you, then please do remember to hit like and subscribe down below, maybe even that little bell icon to indicate when I'm putting out new content, which, like I said, is on a weekly basis. It really does help the channel, and I really do appreciate it. And if you have any other ideas for content you might like to see on the channel, again, please leave me that message in the comment section below. I do love to hear from the viewers. If you'd like to see a playthrough of Outnumbered, please do let me know. And that is going to be all for today. Until next time, I am Craig Thompson Wood, your host on Teaching with Board Games, saying thanks for coming to the classroom.
Back to school with